Hello there, Samara here from CoachingConsciousCreators.com, here to share with you more tips to create the life that you truly desire. So today is day 3 of the self-love series. On days 1 and 2, I talked about caring about how you feel, making your happiness an actual priority for you. And on day 2, I talked about delighting yourself and giving yourself what you really want. I think this is day 3. I may be repeating myself, but we'll see. So today I want to talk about making decisions that put you in a good position. Now, I always use analogies, and today I'm going to use the analogy of parenthood. So when we have children, right, especially if the children are sweet and cute, which most of us think our children are, we just really want to excite them. Like seeing them excited excites us. But we also have a view where we're concerned about their safety, their well-being, and their future. Like we're always viewing that holistically. And so if we know something will delight them, but it doesn't serve their best interest, we don't allow them to do it. If we know their safety, their health is at risk, then even though we know it would make them really happy and delight them if we allow them to do it, we hold them back. And it's not because we want to disappoint them or because we're punishing them. We're actually rewarding them by keeping them away from what doesn't serve them. So when we make choices that serve our best interest, we're doing that same thing for ourselves. So sometimes it would delight me to eat an entire baking sheet of warm cookies, right? But I know that long term, that's detrimental to my health. So what would I do with a child? Let's say my child wants to run out into oncoming traffic because he likes cars, right? I'm going to say, no, you can't do that. But I'm going to negotiate. I'm going to try to create that same joy and excitement, but in a safe way, a way that better serves my child. So I may say something like, no, you can't run and play in the street, but we can take a walk to the park and you can play on the playground. And, hopefully whatever suggestion I make as an alternative gives him an equal amount of excitement and joy. And sometimes he'll be a little disappointed. So when we're making choices that serve our best interests, but also delight us, like I talked about in the other self-love series segment, we can make negotiations. So I want to eat a whole tray of warm cookies, right? Some examples of how I can do something that better serves me is I can offer most of the cookies to my family and have just one. Or I can go to Walmart and get some diet-friendly snacks that I find delicious. Like I can put forth the effort to try out different snacks that taste just as good or are just as satisfying, but not as detrimental to my health and well-being. So as we're moving through life, I talked a lot about being free, being authentically who we are. That was the one that I missed. So I think this is day 4. And I talked about giving ourselves what we really want and caring about how we feel. Yes, we have to do all of that. And we do those same things for our children. But it's important that the decisions that we make lead us closer to the type of life we want to live, lead us closer to bliss. And so sometimes we have to open up our mind, expand our possibilities, and think of alternatives that are pleasing yet also serve our best interest. And that's very important because a lot of times people can say, well, if I'm just going with my feelings, I would go and do cocaine. Cocaine makes me feel amazing. Or I'll just go sleep with everyone. I really like intimacy. Or, just a number of things we would do if there were no boundaries, if there were no consequences. But self-love is still looking for those feelings and that excitement, but being smart about how we execute on that and doing it in a way that serves our best interest. So we're not limiting ourselves. We're not depriving ourselves. We are actually rewarding ourselves by still creating that positive experience, but doing it in a way that is ultimately beneficial. So this is day 3 or 4. I'm going to put it in the title below of the self-love series, and I'll be back with another installment. Thank you so much for watching or listening, depending on whether or not you're watching me on YouTube or listening to the podcast, and I will see you next time.